Okay, so today I figured I'd do like a quick wee world tour of my Minecraft world. I started this world like around a year ago. I think it was like either January, February this year. And I've like built a few farms, and I kind of wanted to show it off to a friend of mine, and yeah, some brothers. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And I figured we'd start off at my main storage area. I did like a was it like a building, like time lapse of building this thing. And I never actually really showed off what it looked like inside in any video. So this is essentially it. You got all your building blocks and all that kind of stuff here. You've got all of your colored blocks, workbenches, miscellaneous plants, and then again colored stuff. And this one, and then over here you just have all of your redstone and useful tools, skulk, food, wood stuff, woods, useful plants, ores, all that kind of stuff there. So that's kind of how I've got it all laid out. The entire thing is fully auto sorted. So you've got bulk storage here for all of your main components there. You've got eight items per slice. Is again fully automated, and then we have got this set up so it can be expanded either which way. If we wanted to, with a few extra slots for expansion. All up, the storage can hold like 1,000 and something different items. And then we just have like a few more bells and whistles. You got a shulker storage just over here for whenever, you got empty shulkers. As again before I said, you got the main bulk storage for stuff there with all your main components of, cobblestone, with the shulker loaders up top, and then you've just got your shulker box insert. So whenever you got a shulker box to unload, goes down into here and then goes into your main item input. And then down here you've just got a system which essentially spits out any kind of non-stackable items through here, and then anything else goes out there. And then the shulker boxes from the shulker box unloader go back into that shulker box chest. So yeah, this is the main storage. And then I guess we can go into the rest of the world to kind of show off some things and kind of like, talk about what we have. So we'll go down to a thing we have down here, which is a sand duper. Don't really care what other people's opinion is on duping. The game hasn't given us a genuine way to, farm sand. So essentially you have a system here which picks up the sand, throws it into a portal, but during the same tick that it enters the portal, it also lands back on this block here and becomes a block again. And that's essentially how the system works. Goes into the end portal, and then it all kind of just goes onto these things over here. And then that's how we get our duped sand. I essentially made this machine at one point because I want to make a pyramid type thing. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a ziggurat. That's what it is. I want to make a ziggurat out of sandstone for a farm later on. And so that's what that is essentially built for. So yeah, that's a wee farm that I had set up. It was designed by, or at least I saw it in ILMango video, or during Psycraft Blitz. So that's what that's from. Then we go on to a nether, and we can kind of have a look at the farms that are in there. Okay, so we'll jump over here real quick. You've got bee farm, got 64 hives, all with 3 bees each. So that's a good way that I've got my honey set up, or like honey source. It's also set up in the nether because if bees, when it's like stormy weather, bees will go back into their hive. And so it's just set up in here because there's no weather cycle going on. Over here, we've got the gold farm. So this is designed by Nenbon, from what I remember. Oh, shit. And it's essentially, it's a non-XP farm, so it's just for gold. And it's just zombie piglins spawn on these platforms. They go into the middle bit here because they're attracted by the turtle eggs, and then they fall down these chutes here, and then down into the storage. Pretty basic, pretty easy, and you can just kind of AFK here for a while, and it'll just kind of putter on. I'll come to that in a second, because that's a two-sided farm. But we've got one just over here, which was fun to do. Because when they implemented the new update with the swamps and stuff, they also gave us the frog lights. So this is a frog light farm over here. So essentially you've just got 5 of each frog that are in here, and then at some point we should see some of the magma slimes spawn in. So I guess we can wait for that. Okay, there we go, here's one. So you got magma slime that kind of spawn in, and then they get damaged by the powdered snow. So that brings them down to these guys eventually, and then as soon as you got these guys, then all the frogs come and eat up, and that's how we get our frog lights. And then we've got, as I said, 5 of each frog, so that we have a good variety of all the frog lights, so that we can then get a wee area down here, which then just has all of our separate frog lights, and then a few extra stuff, like magma creams and whatnot. Yeah. Flying back over here, we've got the nether side of a creeper farm. So I'll go over to the nether, not nether, we'll go to the overworld side, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's a massive perimeter. I'll sleep real quick so we can get a good view. Cool. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's day or night, but still. So this is the creeper farm perimeter. Took me a couple weeks to kind of set this up, but at the same time I was also like mining diamonds and minerals and whatnot. So this is the actual like AFK spot. We'll spawn in a bot just so I can actually show you how it works, or how it looks like it works. So we got there. So we got a bot there. We'll kind of actually we'll show you how it looks from this side. And also this farm is designed by Methods from the SciCraft server. Essentially how it works is that you've got creepers spawn on these platforms here. Only creepers will, because the trapdoors here prevent anything else from spawning, because creepers are shorter than the average mob. They spawn in on these platforms here. You can kind of see them briefly ticking in. They instantly go into the boats here that pick them up, and then because they're underneath these waterlogged blocks, they essentially make the mobs jump out instantly, and then they just go into the portal. So I think there's like a 2-tick lifespan that any creeper has in the overworld. It's actually really smart. I quite like it. Methods had a really good idea onto it. And because they spend such little time in the overworld, it means that when you go into the nether side, they're essentially just pouring out. So if we have a look over here, that's what it looks like. It's so cool. It's just creepers upon creepers upon creepers. And so we've obviously got like 4 shulker box loaders just to kind of keep up with the speed of it, because they just constantly just keep going. Where's the other thing? There it is. Yeah, I used to have it as just like 1 shulker loader per side, but it just wasn't keeping up. So yeah, I decided to go 2, and it seems to do the job. So we'll kill off the bot now. Cool. Now that stops that. Cool, so yeah, that's the creeper farm. Really cool. It was like my last big project that I was working on. Oh, what next? We've got 3 farms over here, which are really cool. So we'll go to this one first, I guess. This one is the iron farm, which was one of my earlier ones. It's based off of a mechanic that I saw in one of Nenbon's videos about iron farms. So you've got, yeah, these 4 towers here, each with this setup here. You've got 3 villages per area here. and they're all being scared by this guy in the middle, who it's called Steve, obviously. Essentially, is a pillager who we broke the crossbow of by essentially just holding a shield and letting him go hog wild while he's in a boat, and then yeah, we eventually moved him into here. All of these separate areas here are far away enough so they're not interacting, thinking they're the same village or group. So if they had a chance to sleep, because I haven't been here this area overnight long enough for them to have thought they've slept, would be getting around either 3 or 4 golems per few seconds. I can't remember the exact science of it. And we might come back here later on to kind of like show it off a bit better during the night. Say they've like had a chance to sleep, but yeah, that's essentially how this works. And then they'll kind of like golems go down the chute here, die, and then all the water kind of goes along. All the poppies from the golems also get picked up by these sorters over here. They get turned into bone meal, and then they go up to this other chute, which is just down here. I completely forgot about this area, actually. So you've just got this wee bit here, which kind of does its thing. Yeah, so this is the iron farm. Hopefully I can come back here to show off how it actually works. Next, I guess we can go to the next closest farm, which is, where are we at? This one over here, which is a slime farm. So this one's really cool. I was actually really happy with this one, because it's based on one that I was watching from Isle Mango from Psycraft. So we'll go up to the top real quick, and we'll show it how it actually works. So the actual top of it is Nagatoro from, Miss Nagatoro. Took me some time to actually plan out the pixel arts. I had to like bring a picture into Paint and then plan it out bit by bit. But yeah, inside the actual farm, you've got all these slimes spawning in here. This entire area is... Man, I'm trying to get my train of thought. Okay, so you got a spawning platform. It's high enough so that all the large slimes can spawn. You've got the golems in each point here to attract any of the slimes wherever they can spawn in. This area here is to do damage, and then golems are both to lure them in and cause damage as well. And then all the mushrooms, most important part, all the mushrooms are here because normal mobs, like your creepers, skeletons, zombies, and all that, they spawn in a light level of 0. Can't spawn in anything above 0. However, slimes can spawn in any area. Well, they can spawn in at a certain Y level in swamp biomes, and then below Y... Actually, no, I don't know about the below Y40. But yeah, they can spawn in swamp biomes at a certain level between light level 0 and 7. So all the mushrooms are excreting a light level of 1, meaning it's within the parameters to stop everything else spawning, so lets the slime spawn, and so that's how that all kind of works. I said that really weird, I'm sorry, but yeah, that's how this whole thing works. And then all the stuff gets picked up by these minecarts, and then gets shot out to, these systems here, and then gets thrown into, where is it at? The shulker box loader's just over here by the portal. So it should be pretty empty because I don't spend that much time here. I just got enough for what I needed at the time, and then emptied it out. But yeah, pretty cool farm, I reckon. Took some time. Actually, it didn't take that long. I think it was like 2 days. Afternoons after work, I think. I don't know. It was like 8 hours all up, I think, to build it. Don't know why I did that, but whatever. Next farm we can go to is the Guardian Farm. Always need a Guardian Farm, so it's that one over there. The farm is one based on... Well... based on. It's the farm that Escal made, I think, in Hermitcraft Season 6? Maybe? I don't know what season. But it's this one over here. So it's just these giant tanks which are in the bounding box of the ocean monument, and then kind of water columns shoot them up. They kind of get filtered down into this wee bit here, and then down into a kill chute here. Basic enough, but then you've got all the sorting mechanic stuff here. You got all the shulker loaders, because of course you need shulker box loaders, sorting systems. But the cool thing, the reason why you've got a bit more stuff going on over here, is because you've got the system here which you close up, and then whenever they fall, the guardians fall. Okay, just random fish. Where are the fish? Where are my guardians? Okay, there we go. Here's one. Okay, cool. So yeah, essentially you have a thing where you can close the bottom and then kill some guardians, and then over a certain amount of time this bit here will like open and close, so that way all of the stuff that builds up over here, compiles up over here while you kill things, don't get lost. So just kind of wait for it to do that. There it goes. Okay. So all the stuff went through. The way that kind of works is that essentially you have the switch that goes over there. It turns on the things over here that essentially close the floor, and then you have a timer here that will open it up and close it back again over a certain amount of time. It initially had that. I just kind of rewired it to, be a bit cleaner in my opinion. So Escal's plan initially had it set up, but I was like, nah, I don't like that. So yeah, that's how I've done that. And then you just got all the stuff from me kind of working on here somewhat recently. Kind of like building a bit more of a perimeter. I still need to go underground to actually light up all the caves so that the rest of the area is properly spawn proof for the main area, but meh, I can do that in a bit at some point, because you kind of jump from project to project when you get bored. So this is kind of saying I was doing between the creeper farm, building the perimeter for that. Since we've gone back into the night, we can actually come over here to have a look at that iron farm, because I kind of want to show that it actually works, rather than, this is how the concept works. So yeah, we'll jump over here. Make sure that's all the... Oh, there we go. We've actually got some great things spawning this time. So we'll actually let them do their thing, hopefully. We'll sleep real quick, just so that we know it's during the day, because I can't remember. It's been a bit since I've looked into the iron golem spawning mechanics, but yeah, I know they actually spawn during the day. So we've got all the things, we've got all the villages. There you go, 4 golems, and then that happens every few seconds. So that's how this works. Pretty cool. Good source of iron, and gives us an abundant supply. Last big farm to really look at now is the one just over here. So this is one that was shown by Isle Mango from SciCraft. A lot of stuff in this world is influenced from SciCraft, just because they're smart fellas, I guess, when it comes to the game. They know their shit. So we've got a shulker farm right here. So that's how we get so many shulkers for shulker loaders, and just shulker storage. So you essentially have a system here. It's a big box of spawn proofness. You've got a shulker in here, which is just being shot at by these snow golems. You got the shulker kind of like being intimidating, shooting the shulker shell backwards. And then whenever he gets hit by a shulker shell, he has a chance to jump away just like that and leave a new one on his track. And just taking advantage of that mechanic there. And then turn it back off. Make sure it's actually off, because I've had this thing break on me before. And then if you come over to the nether side, you can see that... Actually, we'll get out of there, otherwise the thing will be constantly there. The shulkers, yeah, they spawn in over there, in this one portal here. They go onto this platform, and then dragged off into this thing here, where you have a powdered snow block, and they have nowhere else that they can go, because there's no, like, proper flat surfaces. Like, soul sand is technically not a block tool, so they can't go onto the sides of soul sand. And then they just kind of die off in here, and then that gives us our shulker shells there. I've kind of picked everything up from the farm because, you know, always good to have all my stuff local to the storage. So yeah, that is the shulker farm. Pretty basic, pretty easy, pretty cool. I mean, it's not that basic. It's honestly pretty difficult to fix if it kind of breaks on you, because you actually have to be like, oh no, this is a complex machine. How do I fix it? And I guess we can come here now, which is essentially my starter base, more or less. So this is kind of where I have my basic setup, really. This is where I started the game. The spawn is initially just where that platform thing is there. Got our first wheat farm, got some foxes. We've got the farmers here for trading melon and pumpkin. So we've just got the wheat set up here. This is still my main source of emeralds. So you just kind of, you know, grab a stack of all the things, sell it off, and then come over to here, which is where my main librarians and stuff are. Then you've got the clerics, which is where I still get a bunch of my redstone. And then you just got the villager breeder up top. You've got an abundance of just random, you know, plantations of material. So you got the not prismarine, the, what is this stuff called again? Chorus flower and chorus plants and stuff. So chorus plants are there. You've got all the sugarcane here. You've got a wool farm just down here. So just underneath here, you got a bunch of sheep that have been forever tortured and cold if they had shears, but I've kind of forgotten about it because next big project I want to do is a sheep farm, wool farm, whatever. Yeah, just basic plantation of random stuff. Bees there. I was breeding the bees over there for the big farm. You've got, where's rockets? You've got a fungus farm there, just for, so I had like a whole abundance of just nether fungi to grow the nether trees in a Bundy way. And then over here, over this side, you've just got a little basic cactus farm, and then this is probably the last thing I technically made. You've got a little farm for, actually no, second last thing I made. It's like a little basic farm to turn dirt into clay. So essentially you got a thing here which dispenses water onto the dirt every time it goes along. You got a little bit of water up here, which every time this thing activates, it puts water into, or dispenses a water bottle into the water and then picks that up. So you technically, only way you run out of water is if this thing empties. And then you just kind of go along till it fills up the row. That gets pushed forward onto the drying field, I guess you can call it. And then you can either kind of clear it as you go, and then, so yeah, you can clear it, like, you know, grab all the stuff, or you can just kind of set up the entire field and then leave it for a bit, go trading, or like go to an iron farm that's just over there, my like starter iron farm, and then come back and clear it out then. But not always gonna like be completely done. Sometimes, very rarely, everything dries out to clay. And also, I've got this little thing here to kind of prime up the thing here, just in case I do run out of bottles. It's not perfect because I can just accidentally overfill it. But yeah, that's what that's for there. And I guess we just have to go to the last thing over here, which is my starter house. I spend a lot of time not actually in a house, but yeah, this is the main starter. It's just like a wee basic thing. I kind of took influence from the house from Wolf Children. It's not that similar, but that's kind of what my mind was thinking of when I was doing it. With the little, yeah, area like that. Pretty basic. I like it. Kind of set the style for the building in this area. And I guess also we can show off the only thing that's technically an aesthetic building over anything else, which is this area over here, which is very much a reference to Eden from the Hyperdimension Neptunia series. So it's still very much a work in progress. I kind of, got discouraged after learning about like shading and block palettes and variation, because it's very like solid colors and whatnot. But this is what we got so far. I'll probably like tweak it a little bit later, maybe finish it one day. I had the initial thought of like having it as like a trophy room for, a collectathon. So every time I'm trying to collect a full box of stuff, just be like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, that was the idea there. So yeah, that's essentially it. That's my world so far. It's not much aesthetic building. It's mostly just building farms to get materials so that one day I can, get some aesthetic buildings made. Yeah, hopefully it was pretty cool. Hopefully you can appreciate the year of building. Obviously it's not like the only game I play this year. It's kind of just like every so often I'll jump back into Minecraft, or I'll like have a phase where I'm playing a lot of Minecraft. Otherwise, I'll be playing The Witcher or Monster Hunter or Cyberpunk or Assassin's Creed or any of that stuff. All good games, but every time I play another game, I'll just make my way eventually back to Minecraft, as you can expect. But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this world. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you got some cool ideas if you want to do some stuff. Looking at you, I'm not sure if I should actually say friends' names in a video, but yeah, hopefully you get some cool inspiration. And I guess that's it. See it.